In the landscape of figure photography, one group strived for tangible and dynamic displays.
No time to explain, get in the rows!
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
We are live, Boog.
Oh, we are live. Yes, sir.
We're officially back at it.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. It's the bigger love of the family.
The Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast is filmed in front of a live virtual audience and is funded in part by viewers just like you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. Boog, nice. Coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast. This is episode 364. I'm your host, Boog, nice. Got my man, D. Walt, with me. Cheesy is in astral form. And Rick Dom is on a spiritual retreat. We shall be back next week. What's going on, D? What's popping?
What's good, Mr. Nice? What's cracking, man?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good.
Happy
This
Friday.
narrative going around. Happy Friday to you, man.
Yeah.
You know, every time somebody says Mr. Nice or Boog Nice, people always make this joke like, I'm not a nice guy. I'm not a fucking nice guy. It's not why my name is Boog Nice. I'm not fucking.
It's a contradiction, huh?
Well,
Well,
it's good, man.
to be honest, man, I think to know you is to love you. And,
Yeah.
you know, we go back a ways, and you've always been a courteous dude, but you also ain't about that bullshit. So,
You know.
respect it. How's your week been?
It was good. I I was talking to Russ actually for a long time yesterday. And we've been going back and forth for a few weeks now about me coming on a show with him and Century. And you know, we haven't really talked, I guess, publicly in that type of forum, you know, since that whole deal with the little guy some time ago. And I know that going on there, we're gonna start talking about all of this stuff, and you know, and I just, you know, I just ain't feel like dealing with it this particular week, but I feel like it's coming. I feel like it's time to sit down with them over there and just have a candid conversation about all of the things that have been happening since all of that, you know.
Well,
You know,
I mean, as somebody that's, you know, known all three of you for a really long time, Century doesn't do a ton of podcasts and shit like that. You know, he be on his grind and, you know, collecting and posing and doing ACBA and all of that. One thing I would like, if the OGs were to get together in that forum, I know that the landscape of this community of ours has like shifted. I know that there was a time that there was like a kind of a mantra that was used of, you know, you don't do it for the likes, you do it for the love. And it's weird because now it feels like the landscape has shifted. And instead of, you know, not doing it for the likes, you do it for the love, people feel like they've like cracked this formula where if they bring the hate, people will appreciate and they'll build a following that way. And if y'all do end up doing this, I think it would be really great for the community for y'all not to like dwell on a lot of the bullshit that happens. And I mean, you know, without putting anybody out there like that or giving people more of a platform than they have earned, seeing people build their like internet or YouTube persona on the backs of other people's work, just shitting on them, is seeing the community go in a really weird place to me, bro. And there used to be a time where like people recognized that this collecting shit and these figures and these comics and these characters, they weren't mainstream. Like we were like on the outskirts. We were the outcasts. Like we were the people that, you know, found and used this as a form of escapism. And now that it has become kind of like mainstream, it's weird to see things shift in the way that they have, where you got a lot of people that take joy and pride in shitting on other people in the community instead of uplifting them. So it's just weird, man. So again, if y'all do it, I think it would be great. I think it would be great for the community. I think it would be great for the culture. I just hope it stays where y'all kind of get back to the roots and kind of remind everybody about why we're all here.
Yeah, and how we got to
here.
where we are.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
So I know that was a really long-winded way to say it. You know, I'm passionate about it. I watch all of this shit. And, you know, I watch everybody. I watch everybody's content or try to give people a chance.
that was actually part of the conversation too, was him saying that he watches everything, and even some of the negative stuff, just to stay abreast and just to like know what's going on. And I'm like, yo, I don't even have the capacity for that shit. Like, I don't know what's going on your platform, on your channel, unless somebody shows me, unless somebody like literally leads me to it and say, yo, you have to watch this, and timestamp it and be like, yo, watch this moment, this minute of video or whatever. Like, I do not be checking for these like shock jock people and shit. Like, I don't watch their content. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I don't like you or like your content, I'm not checking in for that shit. I'm not hate watching your shit. I'm not begrudgingly like watching your shit. I don't give a fuck about your shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I barely get to watch the people that I enjoy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I barely get to watch the dudes that's actually sticking to the script and putting out good content. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not wasting 9 and 10 minutes of my time watching you do voices and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here with that weirdo shit, man. So,
you know, some people have found a platform for it. And again, at the end of the day, man, it's like, do what brings you joy? Because I think that's really where it all stems from, right? Like, there is a really thin line between love and hate. We know this. And I think that at the end of the day, if it's bringing you joy, that's great. Do your thing. Get off. Get your users up. Get your numbers up. Get your endorsements. Do your fucking, you know, members and all of that shit. But when you look at the body and the breadth of your work, do you feel good about standing by what it is you're contributing to this community of ours? Because at the end of the day, it really is the people that make it all worthwhile. And you know, I was talking to Solid Snake Anthony today, and he was saying how the world is like crazy right now, and with everything that's going on in LA, he was hoping that shit doesn't like impact what Comic-Con, even though it's in San Diego, even though it's in different cities. You know, California, ride for California, right? And then I was like, oh, shit, you know, if only we lived in a world where toys could take away and distract us from all the pain and anguish and everything else. And then he kind of like checked me a little bit, not checked me, but he made me change my perspective, because he was like, yo, fuck the toys. He was like, I've been in this game for a long time, D. I'm not going to Comic-Con for the figures, the reveals. I can watch that shit from my house much cheaper. I'm going for the people. I'm going to interact with friends that I've made in this community, people that I don't get to see all the time, because we lose a lot of people in this community. You know what I'm saying? So being able to see people face to face, and there is no beef, there is no hate. It really is love, because this is what this shit is what brought us all together. So people going out of their way to like let it divide is weird. It is really weird.
That's one of the things that I mentioned too a couple weeks ago, was just that like I can't I'm not comfortable spending time like on a hate train and like putting up these, hater type of videos and stuff. Um, I lost my train of thought because because again, that's where a a huge portion of the joy for me personally comes from is
Mhm.
getting up with people, is meeting up and like, you know what I mean? Like, and I really be outside. Like, so there's these people that do that type of content. You're not gonna see them at events and shit. They don't have you know what I'm saying? The people that follow them and that enjoy that not gonna be there, and especially not in that capacity doing that type of shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's it, you know, I really lost my train of thought on that, but you feel me. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
do, man. What's crazy is, and and I'm not trying to say nothing ridiculous here, but this is our reality. This is our world that we live in. We just saw Buddy lose his life on
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media. I
Crazy.
can't remember if it
Crazy.
was on Instagram Live or if it was on Facebook Live or whatever.
It was on YouTube. I mean, they was both YouTubers
They
basically.
were
And
YouTubers, but I can't remember if the shooting happened on IG or on Facebook Live.
right,
But
right, right, right.
what I was my thought to kind of wrap that up was I can't imagine going to the con and having to keep your head on a swivel
On a
because
swivel at Comic Con. You know
at
what I'm saying?
Comic
It's crazy.
but look, because of all the negative shit that you've put out into the world and
Right, right,
via your
right, right.
content, because we do live in a world where it's like I'll see you eventually. And like you say all the time, like I'm outside. I'm not behind a computer screen and I'm like in the community. I'm going to meetups. I'm like going out to these cons. And it's like having that energy catch up with you has to be a crazy feeling that I don't
Right.
think a lot of people really connect the dots on. Again, look back
Mhm.
at the breadth of your work and can you stand on business with all the content that you've created and put
Right.
out over XYZ years? Because I'm telling you, when push comes to shove, seeing your numbers go from like 500 followers to 5,000 followers, when push comes to shove, you are having to stand on your own by yourself if karma catches
Mhm.
up with you like that. So
Yeah.
again, we live in crazy times. People are doing crazy things. And just remember what brought you to this community and try to just foster it. And I ain't on some kumbaya shit. There are people in this community that I've had issues with. I remember vividly somebody who I used to be really cool with. Word got back to me that they wanted to slap the shit out of me. I know you know what I'm talking about. And
Right.
but at the end of the day, I try to keep shit positive because this shit is supposed to be an escape. This shit is supposed to be my hobby. This shit is supposed to bring me joy. And the people that I interact with and that I've built community with, that I broke bread with, that I've fucking gone and hunted shit for, they've hunted shit for me. That's what brings me back to this community. It makes it all worthwhile because the toys, the prices fluctuate. Shit is hard to get. Things come and go. People drop out. People pass away. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to stand on your word and who you are as a man in this community. And I think a lot of people are losing sight of that. So,
Yeah. It also boils down to people that never touched nothing and never been touched too. Like, you know what I mean? Like those are the people that are the bravest online.
yeah,
So that's really what it boils down to. If you've been had to suffer the consequences of your words and actions in real time in real life, then if you had to eat that humble pie, then you're a little more relaxed and you're a little more cognizant of what you say, where you say it, how you say things. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that just never um, had to learn those lessons. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
unfortunate, man.
I mean, but it is what it is. This is a tale as old as time. Karma is a real thing. Foster the relationships that you make in this community because if you got real ones around you, they'll be real with you and you'll get out of this what you put into it. And if you end up going on with Shart and Spence, make sure you guys hype it up because I think a lot of people will tune into that. And it would be great to
Yeah.
kind of bring those old vibes back, the roots of ACBA and how this all got started. And, I know people give Shart a lot of shit about, and again, thin line between love and hate. But this dude is like a family man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he doesn't invest the amount of time in this channel that he used to, but you still got to put some respect on his name for what he was able to do on YouTube in a time where nobody was doing what it feels like sometimes everybody is doing now. So, yeah, no, it would be great if you guys.
You got to ask yourself, if you're one of these people, what is the actual problem that you have with whoever it is that you attacking? Is it, or is this just all some WWE shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where we at?
When them numbers start going up, man, people start, because again, YouTube is like a fucking history book, bro. You can go back and look at people's history and see the type of content that they were putting up and kind of like follow their trajectory and see.
You know what's funny too? A lot of these dudes are just fans that didn't get the reception that they thought they should have, like, or thought that they deserved and shit. And it's really just a villain arc for a lot of these people. You know what I mean?
Between love and hate, bro. I'm telling you. Go back and watch some of these people's old content and look what those numbers used to be like when they were just doing it for the love, and they were doing it for the love of either the IP that they were into, whether that be wrestling or DC or Marvel or whatever the case, comics. And then look at what those numbers started doing when they started talking shit about people that were doing real numbers. Yeah. Again, Facebook's kept record of all of that shit, bro. So, yeah. But let's not, I don't want to get bogged down in this shit all night, man. I don't
yeah, no doubt. We didn't even really start the show properly. So that was a long intro into
appetizer, if you will.
Yeah. So yeah, what's happened this past week? We got a few actual real news bits to talk about. Where would you like to start?
Well, let's start with what was one of the bigger things that happened. Was that this week or last week? The Psylocke went up on pre-order. That shit it's happening so fast, it's like a blur.
I don't know. A couple of things went up from that Gamerverse offering, right? So I guess Psylocke was the first, though.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about. I don't think we talked about it. I know we talked about it on the last podcast, but I think that it has come out since the last podcast.
Let me actually check one thing before I start.
All right.
Screen sharing here. I will check the dates again.
Shit is coming out fast and furious. Remember when Hasbro first got the Marvel Legends license, and one of the complaints people had was how slow shit was being released.
Yeah, and that you couldn't find stuff in the stores, and like,
yeah,
it was kind of a mess. All right, so June 5th, we saw Wolverine and Silver Samurai go up. Obviously, we already talked about that. June 6th, the very next day, was Psylocke and Thanos. I think there was some confusion about the time because it went up like early in the morning, if I remember correctly.
That is
correct. And the time was supposed to be 1 p.m. for that.
I believe it went up at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would have been 6 in the a.m. for all of the West Coasters. And the discrepancy was our man Dan on their live stream said that it was going up at 1. And they had a graphic that matched that said it went up at 1 o'clock. So needless to say, a lot of people missed out on it because of that. And there were a lot of disgruntled people. And it sold out in it was a Target exclusive, so it sold out in like 12 minutes.
Yes. And then just yesterday, we had Captain America and Venom go up, right? The 12th?
That is correct. Yesterday.
Today is Friday the 13th, by the way.
It is. Happy Jason Day. Shout out to Ms. Voorhees. So Cap went up. Huh?
Yeah. I was about to say, did you know about the whole spelling out Jason thing with the rest of the months and the year and all of that?
No. What is this? You finna be on some Candyman shit? Don't be having nothing come on my computer screen, man. What you doing?
I was just saying, we in June. Next month is no, I'm sorry. I guess starting in July. Then I guess that's how it works.
Okay, so July.
Next month is July, August, September, October, November.
Oh, that's crazy. I've never heard anybody say that to me. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, me neither.
That is crazy. What's crazier is my sister. I'm gonna call her and tell her this shit. My sister was born on November the 13th, and it was on a Friday. So that means that she spelled out Jason in the incubator, which was my mom, and then came out on Friday the 13th at the end of Jason's name. I've never heard that in my entire life. July, August.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I've never heard that presented. That spells out Jason. Check it out. ACBA, your number one trivia podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Come and get it.
There we go.
All right. So did you pre-order Captain America and Venom?
I did. So we talked about this a little bit. I originally got a link. Shout out to my man Pendelos Muertos. I did get a link for Walmart early in the morning on that day. And it was up without a picture and not even like the proper description or whatever, but he had the link. I ordered it. Walmart charges you immediately. So they immediately took the $69-$70 or whatever it was. And then you and I got to talking, you and Rick got to talking about it.
Yeah.
And y'all was shitting on Walmart. And I mean, so when 1 o'clock rolled around.
Respect to the Walton family. Respect to the Walton family. But I have fucked up pre-orders in the past, and there's too much shit coming out for me personally. I'm not going to speak on anybody else's pockets, but there's too much shit that comes out too frequently to be playing the pre-order game where you're paying for pre-orders up front. It's too much. You'll go fucking broke and not have anything to show for it. And then to add insult to injury, to sometimes not have your pre-order like actually go through and be converted and be shipped to you, or it ships to you if you are a mint on card or a mint and seal box collector, and then you get the shit and they send it in one of those like paper envelopes. And so now you're pissed because you waited for 6 months. They had your bread for 6 months and then it's damaged when you get it. There have just been too many horror stories with Walmart for me to entrust with a pre-order.
So yeah, when 1 o'clock rolled around and it actually officially went up, because this was a mainline release, so it pretty much went up everywhere. Then I doubled back to Big Bad Toy Store and ordered a backup. And then I got to thinking about it, and I was just like, I'm gonna just cancel the Walmart order. And I figured it was going to take them a while to refund the money, but they refunded me right away too.
That's what's up. I will say there were a few G.I. Joe pre-orders, because I'm always going to mix in a little sweet with my sour. There were a few G.I. Joe pre-orders, and there was like a little window of time like this at the end of 24, like in the fall of 2024. And I don't know how they were doing it, but Walmart was getting fucking pre-orders out to you like the next day. And as a matter of fact, you know, the one that comes to mind, the green Quicksilver from Marvel Legends. It was a Walmart exclusive. That shit remember that? It went up for pre-order on like a Tuesday, and people were already getting it at their house Wednesday. Like that.
Yeah, it took me a while to get that though. I think somebody actually found it like in Walmart physically on the shelves and sent that to me. I don't actually, no, I'm lying. I think I did order that as well. I think I did order that.
I never saw that one in store. But they sent those shits out so fast, everybody was tripping. They were like, yo, my pre-order is here today. And I just ordered it yesterday. So whatever they were doing, and then there were a few G.I. Joe pre-orders that went down like that too. So whatever they were doing during that time was stellar. And if they had that level of consistency with their pre-orders, I would fuck with them more. But the whole like pay in advance, and now you're just sitting, because we don't even know when. Isn't the release date for this Captain America and Venom 2-pack like November?
I was just about to say it's a November release. Yep.
Yeah. So you sitting on 60 bones until November and no product, no nothing. That's
right. So that was also part of my decision making for just going ahead and doing it through BBTS. It's just like, all right, when it's ready to ship, I'll pay for it then. So
good call. It's interesting. This cap did not, although I thought it would. This 2-pack currently has not sold out on Amazon. That's where I do a lot of my pre-ordering from, and I use that as kind of like my barometer to kind of scale how successful a release has been. If it sells out on Amazon, that's normally an indicator that it has done well.
Yeah, it's done real well if it sells out on Amazon for sure. But just like the Psylocke, and we'll double back to that because I shout out to Kwame Taylor. He sent me a link to that review. There's already a review for Psylocke up. You watched the whole thing already?
Yeah, I did. It's
Okay.
crazy because bruh was like, hey, subscribe to my channel. And I looked and I was like, bro, you have 539 subs right now. You're about to be on in a major way. I don't know. Shout out. I forget his name. I'm sorry. We will shout you out because as far as I know, you're the first person that has this review up for Psylocke.
Mm-hmm.
But dude currently has 539 subs. And as I was watching it, I was just like, see, this is all it takes, right? Like you get one hot figure earlier than everybody else, and now you're on. And, you know, I know, like, look, with that comes great responsibility. So I hope that bruh is able to capitalize and, you know, ride it out. But I did watch it. Did you get a chance to finish it?
I didn't. But yeah, you could tell me I was just going to say one more thing about Captain America before we double back to that. I just like Psylocke. I feel like Psylocke is going to get a single retro carded release at some point. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this Cap will too. They'll, you know, play the game. They'll give you the texturing on the upper torso and stuff, and play with this body or whatever. But you know, the name of the game for us a lot of time is I want it now. So, yeah. And come November, I definitely will be you know, handling this and seeing how it looks alongside all the other Avengers, all the other most recent Avengers that they put out, because the Avengers program was phenomenal.
Yeah, I still feel, even though a lot of people are like, yo, he doesn't have the chainmail, and I get it, that look is iconic to a lot of people. This smooth Captain America is like, in my mind's eye, I think what I go to for Cap first before the chainmail. So yes, this will get a single release. Yes, they will go back and tool the chainmail on top of it. This smooth body, they'll probably reuse to do US Agent, because with Thunderbolts, even though and I'm doing air quotes here, even though Thunderbolts bombed, US Agent is on in a big way right now. Who like that type of character that kind of like.
Isn't he like the MAGA crowd's like go-to guy right now?
I mean, they do love him. I won't necessarily pin all of that on MAGA, but I am seeing a trend where like people who like Homelander and missed out on the entire satire that you're not supposed to like Homelander as a hero. A lot of those people are also singing the praises right now of John Walker, and they're like, that's my Captain America.
Honestly, John Walker in the comic books, though, that's his shtick. Like, you know, he's an asshole. He's a real like just asshole. Like, you know what I mean?
Is he an asshole though? Like, is he an asshole like Guy Gardner, or is he just like not Captain America, not your conventional Captain America?
Yeah. I you know, I'm not a big DC guy, but my understanding of Guy Gardner's personality, US Agent is kind of like that. He's kind of like fuck Captain America, like, you know, that type of dude, like whatever. Like I told a story one time when I was young. The first time I ever recorded in a studio, I was dealing with these guys out of Harlem or whatever, and they was trying to put together a record label. I was about 15 years old at the time or whatever, but this was the first time I ever got to record in an actual studio, and we recorded this song called Money Train. And I wish I could find this song somewhere or whatever, but whatever. The people that were running the quote unquote label at the time took us out to like a club afterwards or whatever. I'm like 15 years old, and Aaron Hall happened to be in the club. The people knew, the dudes who were running the label knew Aaron Hall or whatever. Aaron Hall was there. He was like pissy drunk, and like one of the first things that he said to all of us was like, "Fuck R. Kelly." That is US Agent, basically. Right?
Hilarious, bro. The fact that you made that connection right now, one, is ridiculous. Two, you have a lot of our young millennial listeners right now are literally scratching their heads like,
who the fuck is Aaron Hall? Right.
Shout out to Guy. You know,
Aaron Hall is actually really R. Kelly before R. Kelly, honestly.
Yeah.
R. Kelly did kind of steal his whole
Yeah,
like
he's spoken on
swag.
it a few times that R. Kelly stole his swag and that R.
Yeah.
Kelly stole his whole sound and that they pushed him back when he started out originally in the public announcement because he started out in the guy group too. So again, welcome to ACBA, everybody. The Internet #1 R&B beef website podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I could give y'all a story every week like that. Some industry funny, like life funny story. So tune in next week for the next story. I got some funny Puff Daddy stories too, actually.
Oh shit, yeah. Save let's wait for P and Rick to come back because I want to hear their commentary on those. So going back to this Captain America, yes, this will get a single carded. They'll play with the blues. They'll throw on the chainmail. We will get a John Walker repaint of this for U.S. Agent, which will be cool. Same with Psylocke. I think we will 100% get a recolor of her. She came with a sword holding hand, but because this is Marvel versus Capcom or Marvel superheroes, whatever inspired, she didn't use the sword in the game. She just used like the Psy, whatever, the Psy, yeah, the Psy blade. Thank you. And so we will see this again in some capacity. I think the thing that I'm the most excited about when it comes to Psylocke is the repaint, retool that's going to come for us to get the red Elektra on this body.
Yes, you did mention that last week, I think.
So like looking at this, shout out to Unparalleled Universe, our man Wade. One of the things that he called out was that the wraps on the bicep and on the thighs are molded.
Yes.
And knowing that they went sculpted in. And knowing that they went the extra mile to do that, because every other time they have like some type of wrap like this is always painted on.
Painted on, yeah.
So this lets me know that they're going to get some extra mileage out of this mold. So really excited for it. Shout out to everybody who was able to get theirs in. My hope is that because this kind of got fucked up with the timing, they may open up another window for pre-orders. Probably not, but hopefully this will be readily available for everybody in store. But I will be honest, this one is going to be like, this has scalper bait written all over it. So hopefully everybody will have some connect in the community that will share the DCPI with them. And I don't know if Brick Finder, is that, what was it? Brick Finder, whatever.
I don't even know if that's still a thing, is it?
Yeah, I don't even know if it's still a thing anymore. I haven't used it in a while. But hopefully everybody will be able to snag this.
So yeah, doubling back to a review. There is a review of this two-pack up right now. So we're gonna.
The gentleman's name is FWCI Collector's Edition. Already, like I said, when I watched this review, he was at 539 subs. He's currently up to 557. So shout out to him. He does not say in his review where he was able to get Psylocke from. He does not review Thanos in his review because, to quote him, he said, fuck Thanos, or fuck this Thanos, rather, which is kind of my sentiment too. All in all, just to give you kind of like a brief synopsis of what he said in the review, he does like the figure. The articulation is good. Paint is good. He did say that the hair sculpt limits posability in the figure because of this sweeping hair. Because there's so much of it also, he said that the figure is top heavy. So he was having a difficult time getting it to balance properly.
I mean, we know what this mold is. Mostly this was like the retooled, I believe it's the retooled version of Miss Marvel, but when they kind of gave her a little thicker thighs for Dark Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. And so
let me know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what we see here. So that figure was very lightweight. So I could see how this hair could be crazy. But again, I think we talked about this too in terms of other Psylocke head sculpts that we've gotten in the past. You might be able to do some swaps here. And I'm sure there's going to be a bevy of custom options out there too. People are going to be doing their best Psylocke head sculpts for sure.
Well, the one thing I will say, in his photos, it's still not perfect, but it is the head sculpt is better than it looked in those promo photos.
Okay, yeah.
My only critique was I wish she looked more Asian. I do believe that this form of Betsy is Japanese. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I do think that they could have captured that look a little bit better, but this will do. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think we have a better looking face sculpt on a current Psylocke figure. I need to go pull my two out that I have, but
I mean, there's the X-Force one, which is the most recent one. That head sculpt was pretty nice. I'm trying to remember if she had like some type of headband or something on it with that head sculpt. I can't really remember. Yeah, that was the most recent one that we got. I gotta look that one up actually now.
yeah.
But yeah, no, there's no real surprises here in terms of the articulation. It's going to be a really well articulated figure because again, it's Miss Marvel basically.
Yeah, but I'm excited for this one. This one is one of my most anticipated. Captain America is one of my most anticipated. Next up is Juggernaut, and
actually, that wasn't even the most recent Psylocke. The most recent Psylocke was the like. Armored up one that came in the 2-pack with Wolverine, actually.
Oh shit, I didn't even get that.
I forgot about that one.
Familiar with that, with her in that costume. I thought
it was short lived. It was a X-Men comic, like a few issues or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was interesting that they chose that because I don't know a lot of people that were clamoring for that version of Psylocke, and so. I would have thought that it would have been better to do Deathbird. Is that her name? Lady Deathbird? Is that Landra's sister? Is it Lady Death?
Deathbird, yeah.
I thought that would have been great to pack in, given that we got him in his Brood look and given that we had Lalandra by that point. But alas.
I forgot we did get Psylocke in Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Wave too. So that's a option for one head sculpt, and then there's the X-Force version. So you got the X-Force version really looked Asian. So yeah, you got. I mean, at this particular point, both of those head sculpts are kind of like outdated for where Hasbro is right now and their abilities. But it is an option, and if you want something dynamic, then obviously you can use the heads that are going to come with this upcoming Psylocke with Thanos. So yeah, shout out to FWCI Collector's Edition for snagging this early, being the first to put it up there. Go ahead, run up his numbers.
Yeah, no sub. One thing I really like that's capturing here in the video that you have up is the color, the paint, and the way that it has like this cool ombre effect in her hair. It looks like they did like either a purple dark brush or dry brush over the top of it, and so it looks really good. So
it does look very good.
I'm looking forward to this, man. This is in my opinion is a must-have for your X-Men collection. Hasbro yet again continues to find ways to make us double, triple dip, man. It's crazy.
All right, and other Marvel Legends news this week, we finally got the reveal of the Savage Land 3-pack. I've been telling y'all this for months and months and months. I did have a little inside source, a little line that told me quite a while ago that this was going to be a thing. And even most recently, I knew that Rogue and Shauna would basically be the same figure, but some things would be different. In terms of where how the clothing sits and lands on both of those figures. So we did find out this past week that this is going to be an SDCC exclusive, or the SDCC exclusive this year. So Savage Land 3-pack will include Shauna, the She-Devil, updated, repainted Sauron with some pretty cool hypnotizing eye effects. And we're also going to get Savage Land Rogue. So pretty good. I think this is a solid Comic-Con offering. You know what I mean? It's something that you probably don't want to pass up on, but you can. We already had a Sauron Build-A-Figure. Obviously, this one is going to be updated and better, hopefully. Looks like it's better painted, at least. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good 3-pack. I'm sure you want this and need this in your collection.
Want, yes. Need, no. The prize for me in this one is definitely Shauna.
Okay. Just
Although
to complete your
to
trio.
Complete the team, the squad. Although somebody shit in my Cheerios with her because they pointed out that they didn't like the way that her hair sits, and that it makes it look like she has a cone head. And
yeah, it ain't really sitting. It's fucking flowing.
Yeah, so now I can't unsee that. So hopefully it can be repositioned. What up, P?
Hey, what's up?
Hi, buddy.
Hello.
I have Sauron already, but I don't know. I don't know if I like. I don't know. I don't know if I like the original color scheme of Sauron more than this one. I don't know if the darker green is doing it for me. I feel like the Build-A-Figure has a very strong like color and paint applications. And I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent when it comes to the Savage Land X-Men. Like, it's cool to have, but who else made up that team, or who else was there in the Savage Land? I know that there's a look for Storm. Rogue.
One person that I've been saying for a long time that would be easy for them to do was Savage Land Colossus.
Colossus was in the Savage Land and had a Savage Land look.
Yeah, you know what it is though about this look for Rogue, though. If I'm not mistaken, this was definitely a classic look, but most recently they've had some Savage Land books in this modern time with her with this costume, and I'm not 100% sure if it's supposed to be back in those earlier days, or if this is something new that's going on. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, I've been talking about Savage Land Colossus because that like kind of original, like I guess it was like the late 70s, early 80s team. Colossus is probably one of the last people that we need to kind of round out that team, if I'm not mistaken. Might be one other person. I think Psylocke in her Savage Land uniform, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. One thing that was a surprise with this 3-pack, because I also predicted, and we've talked about it a few times on the podcast now, that given their affinity, and it's not even an affinity, this is how they're doing the rollout now of all these old Build-A-Figures are now being represented as deluxes. And so you can kind of make your own checklist without needing a leak list to basically go back and see, well, of their Hasbro Build-A-Figures, who has not been re-released yet.
Right.
And so once we saw Shanna, or is it Shayna? Shauna, the She-Devil. Once we saw that she was going to be released and they kind of teased her, then it made sense that she would be in some type of 2-pack, 3-pack, and that it would be Sauron added to it. Adding the Rogue is nice. Making it a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive is nice, because it's, it's one of those things where it's like, is this, well, I'm actually about to contradict myself, because do you consider this a must-have 3-pack?
Do I consider it? I mean, yes, because you want that updated Shauna to round out your crew there. So
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they
There's the
kind of
contradiction, right? Because I was going to say, given that it's an SDC exclusive, you may not need this, but you kind of do, because they've done a single carded Kazar and they did Zabu as the Build-A-Figure. So now you're asked out if you don't get this set of ever completing that trio.
Right, exactly, in the modern time. And this is, I don't see this as a retro carded, single carded figure anytime in the near future.
No. This is straight up going to live in exclusivity. So the one thing I was going to say, while we did talk about that, this we kind of knew or had an inkling that this was coming. What I did not see, or what I did not anticipate, is that this would be under the Gamerverse banner,
right?
And that they would do like the snap version of this. And with this coming hot off the heels of the 2-packs, Shumagorath, Juggernaut, it's looking kind of crazy right now. Further for the Maximum line, because at this point, Gamerverse is putting up heat, and Gamerverse is kind of like fucking up the maximum price point, as we will see when the price points are released for Juggernaut and Shumago Wrath. So it's interesting to see where they continue with this Gamerverse line, because now if they're pulling characters from Snap, this can get kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely gonna cop it though. I'm definitely gonna cop this. But we'll see what happens. San Diego Comic-Con is rapidly approaching. We just a little over a month away, so we will see this on hand. That was the other big news. I think we mentioned this last week too, was that this will be on hand at San Diego Comic-Con. So it won't be how they've done the past couple years where the exclusive, even the people that were at Comic-Con had to wait. You know what I mean? They bringing back that kind of like exclusivity of being on site and being able to get your exclusives in hand on site at the convention, and making it, incentivizing you actually being there. So that's good.
Yeah. One other thing of note, did you see that they're saying the price for this is currently, people are speculating it's going to be like $90?
I saw 80 9 or something like that. Yeah, 70 to 89. I don't know. I mean, I could see it. I mean, I don't know, because they've been charging $50 and $60 for some of these deluxe figures that were originally Build-A-Figures. So it's actually kind of a steal if it's $90. Really, you know what I'm saying?
I thought so. There was someone in one of the trade groups on Facebook that was trying to, you know how it is. Once a new thing goes up, people start dumping all their old stuff. And this poor fella was trying to sell his Build-A-Figure Sauron for $80. And yeah, I stole some really good memes from that thread, because
Hey, the old Build-A-Figure Sauron has different legs. He has accurate legs. They're like reptilian. The heel is super long. This one just has regular humanoid legs.
Really?
And just like that, you saved the value of Build-A-Figure Sauron.
Well, shout out to Brad Harper. He pointed it out.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, let me look it up.
That's
because I was really thinking about getting this one too. I still might, but like, I mean, the only thing I'm going to do is shoot a picture of him saying he wants to turn everybody into dinosaurs, and I've already done that. So, I mean,
but you know what's crazy is, so then hold on, Boog, hopefully you're pulling up a picture of the Build-A-Figure. So does that mean that this may be his look in Marvel Snap, where he has more humanoid legs?
Well, is Marvel Snap the card game?
Yeah, it's the card game.
Well, Marvel Snap, like their whole like gimmick is they pull. It's a multiverse of characters, if I remember correctly. So I mean, this might not be his flagship look for Snap, but just one of his looks in whatever card set he's featured in right now. Possibly.
What I also want to see is what did his legs look like on the cartoon?
I was also looking at the comic version, what the legs kind of look like too.
Wow, I haven't heard anyone else say that.
It looks like it's the same. What's he saying? Look at the Build-A-Figure right there.
Hey, big shout out to Brad Harper for giving me false information.
But hold on. Scroll, because I do feel like the feet on the other one from that picture that was up look a little different. Unless I'm tripping.
No, these are regular feet too. And really, if you look at the comic version of it, most instances the way he's drawn is
with the brown pants.
I know, with regular feet, yeah.
Yeah, I thought the purple pants was weird too, because it was given more Hulk than it was Sauron. But I'm looking at Marvel Snap now, and he does have on the purple pants on Marvel Snap.
Oh, Marvel Snap. Okay, all right. Yeah, usually the comic version, he has the kind of brown kind of loincloth or whatever. Yeah.
But
And
see
his
what I'm
feet
saying?
are normally the same. They're not like Velociraptor feet or whatever. Like
I'm looking
the
at a
way
better
he's doing.
picture of a close up of the feet, and they are the same feet. So I think it is the same legs.
He's saying different legs from the movie Lizard. I think we were just having two separate conversations at the time.
Yeah, definitely from the movie Lizard for sure. I've been messing around
Upper
with that
thighs
for
are new. Movie
2 weeks.
Lizard has lower legs. They're all new. Okay, that makes sense. All right,
Yeah,
just
the
for
movie Lizard
all right.
I've been messing around with for a couple weeks now. I really like that figure for some reason.
Oh shit! Speaking of Lizard, I'm getting ready to sell. I'm selling some stuff to buy more shit. So I'm looking at my Spider-Man Classics Lizard figure. I have 2 of these. And did you know that it looks like there was a running, and again, I don't even know if people care about stuff like this anymore when they collect, but there is a running change on which head was on which figure in the package. Because on one of mine, he has the comic head, and on the other one, he has the cartoon head. And I thought that was cool. I hadn't, they used to do little variant changes like that. Remember back in the day when they released Rachel Summers? There was one version that was facing forward and another version that was facing backward.
Yes, so you can see the tattoo and whatever. Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting that they had done this, because this is intentional, given that one of the heads had to be put on and the other one had to be packed. So I thought it was just pretty cool that they
actually, you know what? I don't even know if it was about the tattoo. One of them was actually like
there was multiple
kind of version
black, but there was 2 versions of the black one that was facing forward and then one that was facing to the back, that you could see the back Phoenix logo on her back.
I see. Okay. Was there any other Hasbro news we needed to touch on, or any other Marvel Legends news? I know there was other Hasbro news. I don't think it was anything else from Marvel Legends.
I think the Comic-Con set the 3-pack being revealed was kind of the last thing.
Okay. Didn't we see something with G.I. Joe this past week too? I feel like there was some type of controversy in terms of G.I. Joe showing some stuff and then like taking it back. Like, am I bugging?
They were supposed to do a Yo-Joe June live stream on, was it yesterday? Thursday? Wednesday? Yeah, Thursday I think it was Wednesday. Because I was out of town yesterday. And they did not do the live stream. However, a bunch of shit went up on pre-order. And I'm assuming they would have told everybody, like, hey, today at this time, the Sergeant Slaughter and whatever the other dude's name is, 2-pack is going on pre-order today.
Mercer, Sergeant Slaughter and Mercer, I believe.
And so I think everything but the police officer that they showed went on pre-order on Wednesday. But a lot of people didn't know until it was like, and I won't say too late because I don't think anything sold out. But a lot of people were like, what the fuck, Joe team? Like, you guys said you were going to do a live stream, then you didn't. And then stuff dropped for pre-order just kind of on surprise. Let me check right now and see if that stuff sold out. Oh, the Awe Striker also went up for pre-order on Pulse and on Amazon. I ordered mine on Amazon. So the Retro Bat went up. It looks like it is still currently available. The Awe Striker went up. It is still currently available. The Slaughter Mercer 2-pack went up. And the retro carded G.I. Joe Trooper went up as well. I thought about you because I know you're an old school G.I. Joe head. Did you order any of those troopers?
I never had these in 3 3/4 inch. No, I never had any of the like grunts, basically. Nope.
Yeah. It's cool because this is actually the second grunt that they've released. And so this one, though, coming and able to do the face and the head, neck, and hand swaps so that you can do some as black men and then some as white men is pretty cool.
Yep.
It's so
pretty
crazy
cool.
to think that when this line first came out, they were not doing swappable hands.
Not at all. It was rare.
Yeah, they fixed that quick. They were like, "Wait a minute, what are we doing?"
So yeah, that was that for GI Joe, and then I think today or was it yesterday they had a Star Wars stream. Am I bugging?
Today.
Yeah,
It was today. Okay, so few things to note. They're gonna have a vintage Vader and his TIE fighter. I guess is this the TIE fighter?
That is the it's got another name. It's like the is it the TIE
Only
Fighter?
Vader's TIE Advanced.
Yeah, because it's the one that has it's built like a Cadillac because it's got the long back.
Okay, right.
Look at it. That shit's crazy. It's got like a it's got a look at that. Yeah, it's got
yes. Okay.
long body.
Looks like it has some like battle damage parts you could swap on.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, vintage series is consistently good.
So this is 3 3/4.
Yeah, I would say that vintage series, especially when it comes to like the vehicles and stuff like that, is shitting on Black Series time and time again.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was that.
I think they tested the model with 6-inch scaled vehicles for Star Wars collectors, and I just think they weren't having it, bro. Like it's too much stuff to do, too big, too much space. And these guys are like OG army builders, the Star Wars collectors. So it's I don't know why it didn't pop. You would think that it would. If they made a 6-inch scaled X-Wing, I would probably get it, but looks like it's not to be.
They also showed this. This is a Snowtrooper 4-pack. Easy way to army build some vintage series Snowtroopers. I did do one of these for the regular Stormtroopers for the vintage collection, actually. So this is a cool little pack.
We got this as a single carded release though before, right?
I would assume so. Don't start me to lying about the vintage series stuff like that. But and then I don't really know anything about this. P, maybe you know about these people or these video game people.
The first one is from Rebels. That is a Jedi Temple Guardian with the yellow lightsabers. The second guy was in go ahead.
It's in the anime, right?
Yeah. Star Wars Visions, and he was like a cool samurai Jedi. He had an exclusive.
Yeah, I think we talked about him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he had an exclusive in Tokyo last month where it was black and white only. What is the director's name that I'm thinking of? Who used to do the spaghetti western samurai films? They were all in black and white. I can't think of his name right now. Shit, that's gonna annoy me. But anyway, if you know in the chat who I'm talking about, the Japanese director who used to do a lot of black and white samurai films, spaghetti westerns, but they captured him in that style for a release in Japan that was an exclusive, and so now he's being say again.
Kurosawa.
Kurosawa, yes, thank you.
I tried to low 76 months here. They said that right now.
And then I don't know off the top of my head who the last person is.
Yeah, I don't know. Who
I don't think any of us did.
It says Barris Offie. Is that right?
I don't even know.
Is that like a funny like Dragon Ball Z type of thing? They trying to play on like the barista coffee?
Yeah, that one is missed. The one thing, like all of this shit is a pass for me, but the one thing that I will give the Black Series team credit on is I really love the way they mix in soft goods into their mainline releases. They just do a really good job of that. What they don't do a great job of is I feel like every 6 months they re-release the same like 6 to 8 figures again and again and again. And as a Star Wars, if you are a Star Wars collector, I don't know how this shit is not exhausting for you because this shit is monotonous. Like I feel like just from the
And
outside
there's
looking
no like
shit.
there's no like innovation though that I feel like. I feel like they never like take it really to the next level. Like go ahead and do crazy interchangeable heads and hands and double jointed elbows and like really go nuts. Like what's taking so long? 6-inch Black Series been around for what now? How long has it been?
Um,
At least 13 years, right? Maybe more than that.
I know it's been at least 10.
But whatever. This was
But
the one thing that they showed that I don't know seemed to have people excited. I really don't
I mean, the
know what's
biggest
going
thing
on.
you're getting ready to come up on the photo of it that everybody, I guess, what they want everybody to be excited about is these damn force hands, and that they can
Finally.
now have interchangeable hands for Black Series. But it's
Oh, there
like
you have it.
that is your new hotness that you are giving the fan. This I saw this picture and laughed hard as shit. That this is
Finally,
what they're
that's
hyping.
crazy.
So I don't
How
know.
long has it been, man? That's the whole like crux of Jedi and shit. Is that's part of their power set, and it's the first time we get force hands ever in a line. That's nutty. It's
I do
insane.
think this is the first time we get this version. And I didn't know this. I saw some people again. People will always vent their frustrations. People were saying that they had been wanting the dark Anakin for a while, and then when they finally
Yes.
released him, they released him in this 2-pack with all these accessories. So to have him, you have to pay a premium. So
Hmm. I mean, there was one that came out very early on in the Black Series with this costume. Obviously, it's probably looks terrible compared to this now, um, but yeah, I do like the additions with the lightsabers and obviously the force hands and stuff like that. But I still feel like, damn, there's a lot more they could have been doing for Black Series this whole time. Like I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
Seems overwhelming.
In my mind, I'm curious to know how Black Series rebounded from all of those failed it was just on the tip of my tongue. Why did I do that? The Acolyte. They took a huge risk making all those figures for the Acolyte, and every Target that I would go to would have an entire full end cap of all of those figures. And
Yeah,
I don't even really remember
especially
seeing appearance.
the black lady.
All of them, bro. Like they had the one black dude who was like they went balls to the wall with that series, and they made figures for characters that were like in it for like 1 or 2 episodes, and that was it. And so
Actually, I'm not. It's not the acolyte. The acolyte that had the black lady, right? That was
no,
on
they had a
Vader's.
black lady too. That was on she was on Obi-Wan,
That
the
was Obi-Wan. Yeah.
but the Acolyte doubled down and they had a black main protagonist as well, and kind of caught the same fate. People weren't feeling it. They were like, that's way too much melanin in my Star Wars galaxy for my liking.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so again, I guess I'm assuming, that they've done some new technology on these. I'm assuming that they're like implementing new lines of articulation similarly to what Legends is doing, but I feel like it's just not happening at the same pace that the advancements are happening with Classified and Legends. Today I described this line. I described the Black Series as the Ralph Wiggum of the Hasbro lines, because it's like you love him, but he's definitely just kind of spinning in circles doing his own thing. So do what you do.
All right. So yeah, that was Black Series. That was basically all Hasbro news we really need to talk about. Is there anything else big from any of the other big companies? Let's check out Lago.
They're not a big company, but I'm gonna go ahead and interject this now because it made me happy. I did hear rumblings and saw like a little teaser photo that CT Toys is doing their version of Mafek's Daredevil.
I saw that too. They're
So
doing a ton of
yeah.
stuff as well.
that's pretty
I
exciting.
did see that. I did see that as well. Mezco did actually put up that Batman. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Adam sent me this.
Oh yeah.
Rodriguez. This is sexy. I had meant to hit up Brandon and see what he thought about this, but this looks really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, this does look good.
Let's ask Brandon what he thought too.
I got this. They got it. I think this looks really cool. Will it look this good when it comes out? I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, you know what's funny when I look at this, or at least what it's supposed to look like, it reminds me of the very first Batman release that they put out, with their very first release period in the 112 collective line, which was the Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Yeah, I can see it.
I do like that I'm assuming this is a new body mold to capture
It's
the
gotta be, right?
Yeah, it feels like it is.
Yeah.
And if they're doing that, then like, who else are they going to put on it? Superman, probably.
Superman. Yeah.
Animated Superman. A lot of
for
Justice
sure.
League people, hopefully.
Yeah.
It'd be great. I mean, they basically all have the same Dorito body, but like,
Yeah.
hopefully, like it's like this is real. Like this buff is real, and it's not just like Photoshop trickery to make him look more triangular than possible. And obviously, the image is Photoshop. The figure as a whole does not exist in this capacity right now. But like, hopefully, when it does come to fruition, it will look like this.
Well, something that you said. Go ahead, Boog.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say something that you just said that does seem like it would be like them the ability to print money is if they did continue to use this body mold. If they do have this body mold and did a bunch of those like Justice League Unlimited and Justice League animated characters and did them in Mezco style, that would be sick.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could definitely see them exploring at the very least Superman with this type of buck build. But it would be very cool if they did the Justice League Unlimited or whatever the hell it was in this style.
Because I'm think about how dope it would be to have a Justice League or Justice League Unlimited Green Lantern done by Mezco in this style would be very sick.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that we never actually really got a like comic kind of Justice League. We got the movie Justice League, I guess, from Mezco in a way, but yeah, that'd be cool. I'm interested to see people get this and live vicariously through them because I'm good on this. I will say though, in other Mezco news, if you were on a wait list for Biker Gomez and the Mask, those things started coming through for people this past week too. So if you missed that the first go round and you got on the wait list, you might have got lucky this week for Biker Gomez and the Mask.
Do you have a Gomez in your collection?
I do. I have one that I held on to. Maybe two.
I am beyond shocked to hear you say yes to that. That is crazy.
I mean, I only held on to it for the body mostly, you know?
Yeah. And you got Vapor, right?
Yes, and I held on to Vapor, yep. The first one.
Yeah. I actually not regret, but I thought it would have been cool to have Vapor because that has probably been one of in my opinion, one of their better looking original character releases. They don't really do it for me, but everybody seems really happy with them. And I cannot believe that the Gomez figure has taken off the way that it has. It's kind of crazy, but it is a testament to like the quality of product that Mezco puts out, that they've been able to push out so many of their original characters and they all sell out. So kudos to them.
Yeah, a lot of their OCs, as the kids call them, have been really well received. I mean, everybody was raving about that Tangerine most recently too.
Interesting.
Anything else, P? You know of anything that's? I know it was a light news week, period. So it wasn't a lot going on.
Demoniacal Fit is putting out a Gogeta for movie 12. Looks pretty cool. The Con Studios are doing the same thing as well, so we'll just see how that goes. Aside from that,
Is this it?
yeah, that's it for sure. So they'll do a Super Saiyan 1 and then a Super Saiyan Blue from Dragon Ball Super. Standard fare stuff. Standard fare stuff.
I saw your boy went up for pre-order this week.
Who?
That big ass Namek that we talked about.
Guru?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get yours?
I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I will, for sure.
Okay. I thought about you when I saw it dropped, and I was like, went and checked the price again, and I just said shit out loud.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, this is like, that's like one of the first, I wouldn't say it's one of the first, but I'm definitely feeling the weight of being completionist in this line at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, it's not as bad as like whenever, like these SDCC exclusives that are just like pearlescent painted figures I already own. Like that is by far, by and large, the worst part about being completionist of this line. But in terms of like brand new figures, like this one is like, why is this $300? It's crazy. But again, it's not to the point where I'm like, absolutely not. No, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm still enjoying the line, so it is what it is. What are you gonna do? This hobby looks good too.
For pre-order too.
Yeah, this looks crazy. You know, it's great. Like, it's wild that the Sentinel version of this is just depicted like, I wouldn't say thicker, but like I have the SHF right here. The SHF is pretty like lanky compared to this, and usually Sentinel.
Spindly.
Spindly, exactly. Sentinel is usually the company that like really shines when it comes to like super spindly characters. Like their Miles is like, it's literally like 4 twigs attached to like a body, a torso.
He's so skinny.
But this one I was surprised to see it was a little bit more fleshed out than the other one. This one's cool.
In my mind's eye, Hobie was skinny too, though. Like I feel like this is thicker than how I envision him in my head.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right? I think he would benefit. These proportions are fine. I think he'd benefit from being a little taller. If his legs were longer, I think that would really like push it over the edge. When I think of Hobby, I think of like this tall dude with like these crazy long legs.
Yeah, agreed.
His arms are the same length as his legs. It's kind of nuts.
I do like these head sculpts better than the Figuarts version.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't really like the Figuarts one. I think I'm in the minority because I don't really mind it at all. But like, I gotta do some like strange mental gymnastics. Like, I really think that the SHF head like looks like the actor that's portraying his voice. It's the voice actor. He looks.
A few people say that.
Looks so much like him. It's unbelievable. And like in that aspect, I think that's really, really cool. But in terms of accuracy, this one edges it out for sure. I would imagine.
I didn't think he looked like Daniel Kaluuya, but I heard people say that they definitely got the skin tones the same. I will say that. Bruh is very dark skinned, different shade of brown.
I would say this one, he looks a little bit more washed out than the SHF. The SHF has more skin color. This is like, I don't know. This is just like a very like flat, flat, like darker brown, whereas like the SHF has like some sepia in it, and like it looks more like a more rich, vibrant brown, while still looking like dark skinned and stuff.
Mm.
I mean, all that to say, there's pros and cons for each. I think.
Yeah, I the only Into the Spider-Verse character that I got from SHF was Spider-Man 2099. I think I'm
Oh,
gonna
nice.
just stick with Sentinel with everything, because I got the whole first crew from the first movie from them, and they starting out with the second movie people now. So I think I'm gonna just stick with Sentinel.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Sticking in this whole anime bag that we're in right now. Hold up, don't scroll. Right there in the center.
This guy?
Up one? Hell no.
No.
Oh, what is that? What's the dude's name who used to do that show back in the 80s where he would wear like the bodysuit? That's what that reminded me of. It was like a kid's show, and he used to be.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He kind of had a vibe like Richard Simmons, but he wore like a weird like goatee. You could see like his organs and shit. Well, anyway,
right.
This was big news to me because Bandai is doing another updated cartoon anime version of Ronin Warriors, bro. They released the trailer like 2 days ago. The fact that Bandai is doing the cartoon themselves has me really excited. That means they'll get a new release figures around this line.
Oh yeah, no question.
I don't know if either of you were Ronin Warriors fans, but I was as a kid. Really, really, really great cartoon.
The Ronin Warriors is cool. I watched it in passing, but I was never like
big fan.
I never like made time to watch it, but like it's cool. It's definitely cool.
It's a really great property. I now though am on the hunt to go back and get the who made these? Who made the stupid expensive ones? Not the one.
1,000 Toys, probably.
Who was it?
1,000 Toys, maybe.
Yeah.
Was it like
Sentinel? Is it Sentinel?
Yeah, Sentinel is a subsidiary of 1,000 Toys.
So that's why. So yes, so I'm on the hunt now to go back and get these, because even though I swore to myself I was going to get them when they first released, so I wouldn't have to pay secondary prices. Who did not do that? I did not do that. So now
the KOs are pretty good if you don't want to really just be spending like a ton of money. Like the KOs are just as good from what I get.
I didn't know they had KOs of these. I've only seen. Are they on AliExpress?
Probably, I would imagine. I think so. Started collecting those. Danny LeBlanc started collecting all of this as well. I think he's done.
All right.
So I'd hit him up to see if he's got any leads on official ones too.
All right. Yeah, I shall. So yes, I was looking them up, and Hard Rock I think is like $200. The prices are crazy, bro. Like even the retail price was kind of ridiculous. I think they were like $149.99 at retail, or $119. They range from like $120.
Yeah, they were
$149.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see. I go through these phases where when I think I'm not done, but when I'm gonna have a break on collecting some shit, I'll just start randomly a new line.
Yeah, my daughter actually showed me this past week. This is from Chainsaw Man. I didn't really know, but she thought this was pretty cool.
I am not familiar with this character from Chainsaw Man.
Exactly.
Who is this? Do you watch Chainsaw Man, P?
Absolutely not.
What? Why did you not like Chainsaw Man?
Oh, I don't know. It's a whole bag. It's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
It's a whole can of worms.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but I did end up enjoying it. I thought it was pretty cool.
I'm sure I would like aspects of it for sure, but like I'm good.
It's The animation is great, but it just makes no sense to me at all.
Speaking of anime, I told this to Rick, so I'm gonna tell you, P, so I can get some anime street cred in these streets. I started. Well, actually, I didn't start. I'm like almost at the end of Mushiko Tensei.
What the hell is that?
I thought that I was jobless reincarnation.
Oh, okay.
You don't fuck with it?
Jobless reincarnation. I'm not watching like any new like isekais or anything like that. Or isekais on my bag, but if you're digging it, then hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's normally not the type of anime that I would watch, but I started watching it on a random, and then I told Rick, I was like, "Yo, have you ever heard of whatever the Japanese name is?" And then he was like, "Get the fuck out of here! You're watching that? Oh!" So then I was like, "Oh, okay, this is pretty good." But it's different, man. That's a really cool picture. Who did that?
Darth Primus. Shout out to him.
Yeah, that is some.
I meant to mention too that Gene started shipping and showing up at Target too.
Yep. You got your shipping notification, right?
I did. So I guess I'll maybe have her tomorrow or Monday or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I was telling Adam, shout out to Adam again today, because I saw somebody did a dope ass custom of this in her red suit, and it made me wish that we had gotten her in her red suit. The green is cool. We definitely need an updated Iceman, bro.
I mean, they kind of irked me with the green though, because it's not even accurate. How are they going to have and Hasbro does this shit a lot, where the box art is accurate and then the figure is totally wrong. Like we talked about
this. Sell you the same thing twice
months ago that they didn't get the boots right on his figure. She should have yellow boots.
Yeah, but I've seen, now that it's in hand, a lot of people have done, not that they need to, but a lot of people have done some really cool things to either add the boots by like doing a swap of her a little bit below the calf, or they've painted on the boots in a cool way. So people are doing some cool things in the community to fix their fuck up.
How can you swap? Well, I guess you could. No, that's a hard
transplant. Yeah, it's a whole involved process. I've seen two people that have done it pretty well. But again, that to me is atrocious. Like, I don't know how you have that oversight. But to P's point, I don't think it's accidental. Like, I do think it's intentional.
So I mean, it makes basically, if you want to be like, put yourself in the shoes of a company who loves making money. Like, it's easy. It makes more sense to sell something with the parts you have available to get it kind of right, so that you can sell people the same figure twice, and when like the new version comes out, the company is seen as like they're doing you a favor by giving you a more accurate version. They're solving a problem that they created, basically. Yeah. I mean, like, that's just how shit works. I mean, like, honestly, I feel like whenever we talk about this stuff, like Hasbro, like fiscal moves like that, like it's as if they're the boogeyman of like bigger companies, but like I feel like everybody does that. Like, it doesn't make it right, of course. It's very anti-consumer, 100%. But like, they're not our friends, man. I don't know what to tell you.
They went crazy with the articulation on these Daima figures, huh?
Dude, this Vegeta is the best Vegeta in the entire line. Dare I say, probably one of the most articulated figures in the entire line. It's unreal.
Yeah, this looks good. Shout out to Cerebral Deep on Instagram. Yeah, this looks really good.
I got to start posting my pictures, like my hand pictures, like on my timeline. Like, they live on my stories.
We got them, y'all.
Like,
we got them.
To me, it's like not even it's not even worth like
Oh shit, that's funny. Yeah, that animation was crazy. It's funny, you're right though, because they definitely will spin that shit and be like, "Hey, we listen to the fans and backed by popular demand." Jean with her boots, and they'll do some shit like put her in a 2-pack with Beast in his regular uniform and sell it for $60.
That's it.
Because at the end of the day, making money is the goal.
See, this is the shit I don't like right
But you know what, though? Actually, can you zoom in on that? Can you make that bigger?
Not really.
Enhance.
So, is this person in ACBA or what is this?
No, this is just the ACBA Instagram's kind of like timeline, I guess. Not timeline, but you know.
So this is one of the cool things about the ACBA community and like how shit goes down in real time, right? With critiques. And I know people get all in their feelings about critiques and everything else. In my opinion, this is something that started out as a really cool concept. And if you're willing to take some feedback, it can be turned into something that's dope as shit. Because the actual idea of posing this cap, spraying the shield with the water to capture that impact, and then setting your ISO so that you can capture all those water pellets and everything flying off of that, so it's practical, is cool as shit. It's cool as shit. However, instead of having the hose and the nozzle there, this would be dope as shit if you pose this with a Hydro Man.
Right.
And then like you're able to capture his power set and him hitting Cat with some high powered water and him deflecting it with the shield, but this is the effect that it sprays all over the place. This would be cool. That would be cool as shit to see the vision fully fleshed out and fully ACBA'd out. That would be really
cool.
I'm
with you there. I'm with you there for sure. That would be dope.
But I love that it's all practical. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. Is there anything that we that we watching? Any recommendations? Anything that we should look out for?
I got one. Everybody check out Aaron Figures. Hold on one second. Let me make sure I get the.
Oh, that's right. You did mention this. Is this something I should bring up?
Yeah, see if you can go to Aaron's page. It's _ Aaron Figures, I think.
This is on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Aaron Figures. Now that you mention it.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, that guy, the dog.
This one?
Yep. The dog. Yeah, check out Aaron Figures. He posted a YouTube video that's kind of like in the style of like a lot of like older like classic toy community ACBA videos where he just goes through the process of his shot behind the scenes, and it's like an anthology. He has like a bunch of different shots in this video. It's on his YouTube, which I think is probably linked in his.
I was just showing off some of his photography.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he has a couple of classic shots. It's really nice. It's about an hour long. Something really nice to put up, and like the production value is really nice as well. So definitely check it out. It's his first video that he made. Yeah, definitely check it out. Give him some feedback. Let him know. And I just wanted to shout it out because it's really cool. Like when I think of like ACBA, I think of like super old, everybody on YouTube making videos and stuff, showing behind the scenes of like their setups and their displays. So like that to me is like core ACBA. So anytime somebody makes content like that, I'm down. I'm in for sure, 100%.
Is this the video?
That's it. That's Aaron himself.
Nice.
There it is. Check it out.
I already could tell.
Very good production. Check it out, dude. Hell yeah. Him and his whole crew, super cool. Him, Articulated Toaster, Super Saiyan 63, all cool dudes, dude. They're all great.
That's another thing. If you putting up videos that like look like shit, I'm not watching that shit, man. Like you talking shit about other people and doing all of this crazy shit, and the video looks like shit. Like, nah, man, I'm not watching that shit.
Make it look
All right,
good.
shout out to Aaron Figures.
Yeah, Aaron Figures, man, great guy.
Um,
Great dude.
two things really quick. We just got in a super chat.
Oh, okay, hell yeah. Hold on 1 second, I'll pull it up.
So one
Hard, because I won't work. Hold on. Yes, by Jerry. Jerry, hello. Has anyone on the pod been reading any of the Marvel Ultimate Universe, DC Absolute Universe, or Image Energon Universe, comic book Renaissance? And I can see Mattel making that Wonder Woman. Hell yeah. Me, not so much, unfortunately.
I have.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I was actually bummed. Believe it or not, I was bummed, Jerry, that McFarlane lost the DC license because I feel like he would have fucking rocked that Absolute Batman. Because he is a unit and that he would
I can see that.
Yeah, he would have invested the plastic to make that mold pretty epic. If you are hearing this and you were not reading those Absolute comics for DC, you are missing out on some quality ass shit.
Look what pops up as soon as you guys start talking about it.
They just introduced Bane, and this incarnation of Bane and his fight that he just had with Batman. Remember the fight in this is probably the best part of the Dark Knight Rises when Bane and Batman fought in the sewer, and then he did the whole speech like you were born in the dark or you inherited the dark, but I was born in it. That whole shit. They did something similar to this, but also like ramped it up a notch because it's the comics, and the way that Bane like breaks Batman like all the way down in this fight is insane. Same thing with Wonder Woman. This is probably, in my opinion, been the most interesting that Wonder Woman has been in comics in a really long time. This iteration of her does some new, bold, and challenging things with the character. So it's really good. The Flash has been handled really well. Green Lantern, Absolute Green Lantern is doing some things that are fun and different. The only book that I haven't really vibed with, so much so that I didn't even read the second issue, was Martian Manhunter. That one has been a little wonky, but Superman has also been really good. So if you're not reading Absolute, check it out. It is a really good book. I have not read Energon Universe. Actually, Jerry, is that the one where that it went viral for a second because Optimus Prime like ripped his arm off and beat somebody with it or some shit because he was injured?
I saw that too. That's right.
I think that like was the talk of the town like a couple months ago, and I was seeing that panel everywhere. So I did want to circle back and read that. But high praise for the DC Absolute Universe. They're doing really well. I think they just finished up like that first arc, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. So if you get a chance, definitely go read those. Okay. I know we're trying to probably get up out of here. I wanted to have you, P. I saw you doing your humble flex a second ago playing your Switch 2. I wanted to get your take on it because you've had it since launch, right?
I have.
I've been seeing mixed reviews, broski. What are your thoughts?
I think it's fine. It's great. I don't understand. Like, I get that, like, their criticism is great, but like, how do you not at this point, unless you're like a teenager or like in your early 20s and shit is like super tight, your budget is crazy. How are you not making a smart purchase at this point when it comes to a $500 piece of debt? Like, either you like this shit or not, dude. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
So let me ask you though. So some of the critiques that I've seen, not so much about the system, but I think the biggest like unifying critique has been people tripping over the price of the games and saying,
yeah, $80 is crazy.
Yeah, that they didn't think that they had pushed the envelope far enough to justify Mario Kart World being $80.
So here's the thing. Like, I know that Nintendo is getting a lot of flack for being the first people to bring in $80 games.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe that Rockstar has not revealed their price because because GTA 6 is going to be $90 to $110.
Oh, I was
100%.
thinking 120, and that's
Yeah,
not even
120 maybe.
Yeah, that's not even factoring in their deluxe and shit that they bundle with like statues and all that other shit. Yeah.
I think like so the main thing about that, like the sticker shock or like the headline shock is valid. $80 for a video game is nuts. But when you really start looking into it, the $60 like uh like flagship game, it's been $60 for the last for what, maybe like 15 years. Yeah, but since like 2009 ish, Xbox 360 brought it up to $60. That launched in 2005, 2006. So for the better part of like 15 to 20 years, $60 has been the same. But in that, and then $70 in the last couple of years.
Mhm.
But the thing that a lot of people don't know is like between that time and now, development costs and the entire like what do you call it? The entire like zeitgeist of video games as a form of media has like expanded well beyond what it was when video games cost $60. Like I I believe that some video games are worth $80 for sure. I don't want to pay $80 for a video game. I don't think anybody does. Like, but when it comes to evergreen games like GTA 6, Mario Kart, a lot of people don't know Mario Kart is far and above the best and most consistent selling game on the Switch One. People played that forever since it came out. It was like top 5 selling games of the entire lifespan of that console. So, like, it's safe to say that Mario Kart is an evergreen title. When you think about the value versus how much you're getting out of that game, and you're playing it for 8 years, I can see why people, developers especially, think $80, a $10 price hike from the norm $70 right now makes sense. I don't particularly want that feature, but I get it for sure. Another thing is like, dog, if you were alive in the 90s, video games cost $90 back then. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. Jerry is saying it right now. Mario Kart 64 was $60, not counting inflation in 1996. Dude, like, but he's also saying the cost of games have not risen with development. I mean, but it was $60 in the 90s because of chip shortages and all of that stuff. Pokemon Snap was $90. I remember when I bought Pokemon Snap, when my parents bought Pokemon Snap for me. It was a $90 game at Kmart. And that's
didn't Nintendo games like NES games, weren't those shits like $39, $49 back in the day? They weren't like
it just depends. Yeah, it just depends. Like it's not like a flat cost across the board. Like Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart World is an $80 game, but the new Donkey Kong game that comes out next month is a regular $70 game. And I would argue that one is just as polished, if not more polished, than Mario Kart. I don't know. I mean, like, again, at this point, like, I don't know. I think I was talking about on my Instagram, but like I stopped being cynical about video games like 10 years ago. I don't give a shit about any of this negative stuff anymore. So like I don't know. If you're trying to if I'm not trying to argue with people on the internet about why they think $80 is not worth it. We agree, dude. I don't think $80 is worth it either. But do I want to play Mario Kart? Absolutely. So I bought it.
See, the crazy shit is whether you realize it or not, we've been paying $80+ for games for a while now. Inadvertently,
if you're
their money because
if you're talking about DLC and stuff,
yeah, I bought Mortal Kombat. Just an example that comes from mind. I bought Mortal Kombat 1 and then you buy like all those fucking season passes and everything else, and those are like $35 each, $35. And I think they do like 2 season passes. And so same thing with Street Fighter, same thing with whatever. So the little micro transactions run up the price. So, but that again, it's a slippery slope, because if Mario Kart World has DLC, that makes it an even more expensive game. But it's, I don't know, like I do.
Yeah. I mean, that game is
that
DLC.
the cost of games has not risen with the cost of the development. I think that is kind of like a very smart industry way to look at it. But for the general consumer, and when I say general consumer, I'm thinking about like, I always see that the Switch is targeted more toward younger players, younger gamers. And so as a parent myself, it does hit different when your kid wants a system that's already $500 while they're sitting on their OLED Switch right now, and then each of the games is $80. That shit hit a little different.
Well, only one game is $80. It's Mario Kart.
Currently.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not even that all of their first party games are going to be $80. Donkey Kong is going to be $70 when it comes out. It just depends, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I could see most of their games being $70, and then every once in a while we'll see like an $80 game, which again stinks. Blunt Force Honesty is saying something that I've been thinking of this whole time. People are mad about the video games. They should be fucking furious about these Amiibo. Street Fighter Amiibos are $40. They're smoking crack cocaine if they think I'm paying $40 for a non-articulated figure. These guys are nuts. There's no way.
Wait,
I'm going on the internet and I am downloading a fucking Amiibo file and like blasting it onto an NFC reader on my fucking phone. Like there's no way I'm paying $40 for that.
$40.
$40 for an Amiibo. Amiibos came out, they were $12.99. These guys are nuts. They are nuts charging $40 for an Amiibo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's like if a Funko Pop now was $35. Just a bog standard Funko Pop comes out now and it's $35. They're nuts. They're absolutely nuts. And people are buying it. That's crazy. Like, I can understand the outrage. I can understand, like, again, like the shock of seeing a game is $80. That's $10 more than what games were last generation. Like, an Amiibo being 4 times more than what it cost when they came out is unreal.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then what is the justification of the price increase?
There's no justification. It's just Switch tag.
You pay me, that's it?
Yeah, it's Switch tag. I mean, the Switch has always had like a tag put on it because like it's a Nintendo console and it's like portable and stuff. That's just how it is. And like, you know, it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Speaking of things being crazy priced, again, I know we're trying to get out of here. We were laughing because for the release of and I said this last week and I'm gonna say it again. I don't know when we got to this place and this point where when you go to the movie theater, these like themed popcorn buckets have become like rage. Did you see that the fucking Galactus popcorn bucket is $80?
There's no fucking way.
Is that the price?
$80?
It was $79.99, right?
Yeah, I think
that's
got to
be a lie. That's a lie. Someone is lying on the internet. $80?
It was trending on Twitter, I think, the other day too.
Yeah, the Galactus popcorn bucket for the Fantastic Four First Steps cost $79.95.
They are out of their minds.
One of the most expensive popcorn buckets to date.
One of the most? It's the most. Like, can't imagine one being as expensive as that. Like the Fast and Furious car being $40, I thought was a little much too.
I just chatted to you right now, P. It is.
I don't even want to see this shit.
I couldn't believe it because I'm like, at the end of the day, that shit just hold popcorn, right?
Yeah, what's it do? It does nothing. It's not even like. It's not like something this mass produced. Like the nuance in the sculpt is gonna be lost. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, Also, Galactus just looks like some dude I work with, and this like his facial like I understand, like I get it, like he is humanoid under all that shit, but like he just looks like just like a normal guy. Like I just don't fucking know. He looks like somebody who put on a Galactus mask at a Halloween Express. It's crazy. I don't.
Oh shit! It's yeah. I have no desire for those. Shout out to anybody who collects them. It's crazy. It's crazy, but that's not my gospel. That's not my ministry. What can you do? Everything's expensive. Everything is expensive.
Yeah, everything's expensive. Jerry also said that he had the Switch 2. He's enjoyed it, but Nintendo finally did the iterative update. Basically, feels like I'm going from PS4 to PS5. Better build quality, games run better. I set my expectations, so I'm good. Yeah, I mean, like I'm in the same boat. I set my expectations. Like the fact that this thing was going to be pushing graphics that are kind of like a PS4 Pro, in between a PS4 Pro and a 5. Like I just knew this shit was gonna be expensive because tech like that is expensive. Like I was not expecting a $300 console again in the year 2025. Like added, like I don't understand. I don't get it. So I mean, like I enjoy it. The only time I get to play it is at work. So
I
I'm not.
think I may wait, and I think I may wait
Please
for
wait.
the OLED because even though this screen is bigger, I am confident that they will make a Nintendo Switch 2 OLED. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be an OLED, but like they will definitely make a new Switch where the bezel is thinner for sure. Like this is planned obsolescence at its finest, 100%. Like, and there's also a new mandate that's kind of like floating around in the ethos right now, where like at a certain point, consumer grade electronics have to implement a swappable battery if it's lithium ion. So like if that goes through, they'll be forced to redesign the whole thing. So like
oh, that's crazy.
You know, but I mean, like definitely, if you're not, I mean, like I've always been an early adopter of video games because like video games are like my shit, even more so than like figures and stuff. So like I've always bought as soon as I was able to. I've been buying stuff day one. Like that is exciting to me. Being there in the early days and then just like having that new piece of tech and whatever. So like that's cool to me. Like, and whenever the new one comes out, that's great. I'll get that one too. Whatever.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to hear your take on it because I know that video games and like you are one of the most extensive collectors of games that I know. So I definitely wanted to hear your thoughts on it. Because I've just been watching a lot of people who I don't know review it online just to kind of see what their take is. Because I was thinking about getting my kids one, but both of them, because they both have OLEDs, and they were like, "Dad, we're good. We'll wait on this one." So I was like,
yeah, right. Just wait. I will say like the coolest thing that is getting a lot of like hype now from enthusiasts, but isn't really like a widespread like mainstream thing is like its backwards compatibility is all software based. So like every Switch game you put through that gets like a boost. Like Switch 1 games are like they just run better and in a lot of cases they look better on the Switch 2, even if they don't have a dedicated patch pushed through to it. There are games like Legend of Zelda and like a lot of first party stuff that have like dedicated patches to like take advantage of Switch 2 hardware, but like there's games that have no patches that when they were put on Switch 1, they had like an uncapped frame rate or they had like a dynamic resolution that kind of worked with whatever. But now that there's more power for a Switch 2, all that stuff is like uncapped. So like games that kind of like struggled at like 720p or something, now they're like fully uncapped and they look great and they run great and stuff like that. It's really cool. That kind of stuff is super tight to me.
Yeah, so, one of the games that I heard that has increased in value tremendously because of that ability to upgrade the quality of the game is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that game chugged. That game chugged, man. And that game is fun. Like Ultimate Alliance 3 rocks. I love that game.
Yeah, people are saying now with the graphic updates that the Switch 2 can do, it is the best Ultimate game that was released because it looks so
Yeah,
much better now, and the price
I
of
can
it
see that.
like skyrocketed. So
Good. That game rules. That game rocks, dude.
all right, good
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
Okay, Joe.
I know,
Boog
sorry,
said,
bro. You don't
"Yo,
give a
let's
shit
all
about
cook
that.
now. Let's wrap this shit up." He was like, "I had nothing to say about any of that video game shit."
I don't know anything about any of that, but you know, there's something for everybody, baby. It's all good. Yeah, you guys gave your recommendations. I don't really know of anything that I'm like really into or watching or showing off at this moment. So yeah, I don't know. Is there anything that you're looking forward to in the very near future, pickup wise?
What month are we in? What is this? June?
Again,
We in June. We're ways off from them Sentinels, baby.
We are, but that don't mean the shit's not expensive. I just had my guy hit me up literally during the middle of the podcast and let me know that Fans Toys has requested their payment for the final member of their their combiner for Dead End for Fans Toys Minosaur. So getting ready to send him a hot $350 for the last member and the combiner parts to put that together.
oh
So,
shit.
I mean, I can't even complain, bro. Like, it's from the time that they first showed this figure to them releasing the last member of the team. I think it's been like 7 years.
Great.
So yeah, it took a long time for them to finish this one. So I'm more than anything, I'm just ready for this shit to be done so that I can move on to other stuff.
Very good.
But outside of that, and collecting wise, no. But I am looking forward to these movie releases that are getting ready to drop. Superman, Fantastic Four. Did you guys see this? And I know I'm taking us down another rabbit hole, so I'll just be concise on this one. You saw that Superman had like the #1 like pre-ticket sales.
Oh no way, that's cool.
Yeah, it like
You
broke.
said Superman did?
Yeah, it broke a bunch of records.
Good
Nice.
for them.
And so
I mean, Superman is not what's out Comic-Con week. It's Fantastic Four, right?
Fantastic Four, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Fantastic
Superman
Okay.
is out soon, though, for sure, right?
I think
feel like
so.
we
I'll
just
get my
talked about
tickets.
these release dates. It's coming up for sure.
yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. With that said, I don't know. Comic Con is approaching, so we're gonna see a lot of new stuff, and also, obviously, every year that San Diego Comic Con comes around, there's a bunch of stuff that's releasing at the same time as well. So your wallet is about to take a hit, so prepare yourself for the month of July. And with that said, thanks for everybody for hanging out with us this evening. Thank you for the few super chats. And we will tap back in with you guys next week with some great news. Rick will be back and with some great news. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're still doing, or you guys are still doing the road to Comic-Con, right? I'm gonna have some
Yes, we are. We are definitely lining up some guests. So yeah, the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes before Comic-Con, we should definitely have some special guests on and talking about some really cool things. So look out for that.
Cool.
And we'll tap back in with you guys in 7 days. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell down there. Until next time, have a good night.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Oh man. So yeah.
Thank
You
you.
just reminded me I need to go ahead and set some money aside for. I think the only thing I want right now from Comic-Con is that Sabaton 3 pack. When you guys budget for Comic-Con, how much bread do you take with you, or do you just do everything on credit card for your purchases while you're there?
For me, it's credit cards for me, honestly. And PayPal, maybe.
Years past, yeah, I would probably dedicate a certain amount of money or whatever, but